His name translates to one behind the scenes, but his antecedents undermine this representation. From obscurity to prominence, he traverses through time and seasons as a two-time councillor, a one-time council secretary, and a frontliner in Federal Capital Territory politics. His personality supersedes his ambition. He is an acclaimed listener without prejudice and helper without entitlement. Above all, he is a charismatic and visionary leader whose mantra is an embodiment of servitude to his community in Jiwa Emirate of Abuja Municipal Area Council.
Some philosophers believe actually that the journey of faith, transformation, and self-discovery starts with daring to dream and allowing others to also dream. This is Inspirators on 19 News 24. My name is Ngozi Chude. Thank you for joining us.
Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Candido strikes two chords, an ironical mix of an introvert, but one in the public domain, and a name that emanates from just an inscription.
It was a secondary school activities. Sometimes I just put on a singlet that bears Candido at the back.
Wow.
I don't even know what I was carrying, really. So as a junior student, my seniors, when I passed by, they would call Candido, and I didn't know who they were even referring to me. Not until one of my seniors, scolded me to say he called me, and I didn't look back. I say, I didn't hear. I say, are you not Candido? I say, Candido. He say, yes. So that was how the name I got. It was a singlet that a brother of mine gave it to me.
And written on it was Candido.
Written on it was the Candido, and I didn't know that. Yeah, that was how it was. So later in life, and I tried to find out what does Candido mean. And I discovered that it was I think an analyst or a writer, then a newspaper then called New Nigeria newspaper. That was a columnist that used to write Candido, and then I went for that to find out what exactly was Candido. So I discovered it was something behind the scene, someone behind whatever good things are happening. So I said, oh, then it's something that is good. I can bear it. If I had later known that Candido means an insultive thing, I wouldn't have, take it all this long. So those were my discovery, and I say, if it is something that is behind the scene means something that can be good, of course, or someone is making things happen unknown to him, then I think I can bear the name. And that was how I took it up and said, well, I can bear this name, and it's giving me, all lots of accolades in life today.
Exactly, and I would say, ironically, you're not just behind the scene, you're the forerunner.
Well, for now. For now.
Abdullahi Adamu Candido was born in 1968 in Jiwa Emirate of Abuja Municipal Area Council. Orphaned at an early age and consequently left at the mercy of sympathetic relations and a great-grandmother who believed in him, life was not friendly, and the only inspiration at that time was his brother, who was a bus driver.
From my primary 2 till the last class of primary classes, I think I didn't have this joy of affection from parents. And that was how it went. And it affected certain things about, good things about life as far as I'm concerned. But I, put up courage, and I saw myself,
Even at that young age, you were able to shoulder some responsibilities on your own.
On your own, of course, on my own. I did, because I was on my own. I was only privileged to have I think I can call her then like a great-grandmother. Because one, I wasn't a child to any of her parents, but because she was then living around our compound, she was looking after me. The little food that people brought to her, she would also, ensure that I also have a little part of it. But I know as the days then was people fend for their own children more than those that, are orphans, really. So those were how I grew up. But of course, I didn't give up. I was able to manage my life like that. And then, of course, the only brother then that I used to have was just a bus driver or truck driver. And in my days in the primary school, I used to tell people that I would, if in a class they ask, what do you want to become in life? I say, I would like to become a motor boy. Because the only job that I do know that I can see physically through my brother was a driver. And so because he drives, I thought maybe that is also a good thing. So I was only telling the people in the class that I would love to be a motorboy. I didn't know there's any profession, whether in medicine, what I did, beyond what my brother is saying, because I can see him doing that and then coming to take a look after me. So I was saying, oh, I would like to be a driver or a motorboy. And in my class, I used to be called a motorboy. But today, I think the stories has changed.
Definitely, that's true.
Things have, are better for me now because of the courage, because of the determination, and because of the resilience too. I put up to, I didn't allow the orphanhood to affect me.
Not dissuaded by challenges, he scaled through an early education at LEA Primary School, Jiwa, from where he proceeded to the Niger Baptist College, Minna, for his secondary education, and thereafter the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, where he honed leadership skills.
Well, let me be very sincere. If we are to see life in the context of what God created, as in, the entire universe, for those of us who have seen the negative and the positive aspect of life itself entirely, for me, I see life as nothing. Very empty. Okay? Nothingness, nothing in it, vanity, and nothing. So when you have this breath that you can still sit, like someone who is, of course, alive to responsibilities, just take it to know that someday it will not be there. And so all you need to do is to keep doing the best you can. Keep touching on lives of people, because you never can tell what tomorrow can be. A second, you are no more there.
Blooming and blossoming, his rise on the hallmark of servitude has been remarkable. Elected as a councillor in 1998, Candido went through the rigors of politics with an impact that spans through 2 decades.
Sincerely, if I begin to recall how I joined politics, I ask myself, I have been an introvert. I have not been someone, I am very shy, I'm a shy person. And one who doesn't even like to, practical associate with lots and lots of, a group of people like that. But in between, I think growing up with no parents, let me be very sincere, attracted me again to public, challenges. What are those public challenges? I became like a local critic in a community, right? And this critical aspect of analyzing situations, looking at how people are, are fending for only themselves and who they have, okay, attracted me to service. And so within the context of my secondary school days, that was how I began to say, no, we can make things better. That because one did not have this or that does not mean that he should be forgotten or ignored by the society. So in my own little village where we are now, this is Jua here, at the level of secondary school, I began to say, look, what do we do? So we thought of student unionism, right? From student unionism to association within the community. And in all this, I began, people bestow leadership in me, and then I saw myself leading a group of persons, advocating for developmental, situations, wanting things to be good for the community. So at that point in time, from my introvert part, I began to now know how to, look at the face of people and begin to talk. And that was how, this aspect, of local politicking began to manifest in me. So immediately I finished my program in university then, when I just went for a diploma program in journalism, of course in Abuse area, I never had the insight of becoming anybody. But the moment I passed through and returned home, then there was a clarion appeal for councillorship days then. And then people just say, oh, we would have loved you to go if you can. I said, no, I don't want it. We now shifted the whole idea to a community that, please, you can give us somebody. At the end of the day, it never worked. They still came back to me and said, it is you that we want you to go. That was how I began to, know the feeling. So maybe it's a calling, and so I should venture into it. And so I gave it a try. And from that point, in 1999, so in 1998-99, I ventured into politics and then became an elected councillor. That was the beginning of my real political activities as far as party politics is concerned. Yes. So you can see a span of from 1999 to about 2006, I served as a councillor and then later as a council secretary. But from 2006 till 2016, right, I was out of political activities like that. The space did not accommodate me any longer.
From 2006?
From 2006 to 2016.
That's about 10 years.
Yeah, that was when I resigned my position as council secretary. It never happened, but I did because I was not satisfied with the system then. Even though I was appointed, but I later, don't feel. I didn't feel a sense of belonging in the whole system, so I resigned my appointment and left. And from then, the space did not accommodate me for 10 good years.
And 10 good years, what were you doing then?
I was just doing little things within my own family, attending to my little thing that I can just earn a living.
So 2016 to now, that was when, what changed? How did the game change again in your favor? Well,
it changed because sometimes in 2009, because I was then, of course, a PDP person, right? From 1999 till 2006, I was into PDP. But I haven't left the party sometimes around 2007. And then by 2009, the current president of Nigeria, put in place what they call Congress for Progressive Change, CPC. So I then desired that, these are progressive-minded persons. So I decided to now pull out from the retirement, let me put it that way, and now came back to politics and then now associated myself with CPC as a party. And like it will be, I became the party chairman at the council level, and then of course I managed the party till 2016 or 2015 when I went in for the chairmanship, and then of course during the party primaries I became the candidate for the election, and then by 2016 the contest proper, I won the election and then re-elected again. From 2016 to 2019 I got re-elected, so I ending my second term now in office as the chairman of Abuja Municipal Council.
I guess congratulations are in order because I know it's not a mean feat. But for you, being the chairman of the largest area council in Abuja, what would you consider as the biggest achievement for you?
I think let me first, before I even say these are my achievements, I must appreciate the people who even made it happen. The entire people of Abuja Municipal Council, those for and those against, sincerely appreciate them, because sometimes because of the way we found ourselves, we are also products of accusations, we are product of controversy, we are product of even hate. Well, put together, it has taken us to a certain mile in life. So I must appreciate the good people of Abuja Municipal Council. But what are my major challenges or my successes in office was I was able to practically demonstrate leadership in the area of providing services that people really needed. AMAC was created in 1984. And it suffices you to know that I'm not blowing my trumpet, but the people that we have served or we are serving keep saying, and I pretend as if I'm not hearing, but they will keep saying that since inception of this area council, my administration is one of the best. Even if they didn't say it's the best, but they will say it's one of the best. I feel happy. The joy is in me all the time that once my administration is termed to be one of the best, it gladdens my heart. But when you go around the community, right, and you see things for yourself, then you actually believe what they are saying.
There's a defining trait in you that separated you from the Lord. What is that? Why do you insist to live by the books?
Well, I think for one, wishing to be a leader, you must have a blueprint. I think that my blueprint helped me a lot in this regard. I didn't just ask to become chairman. I sat down within the comfort of my room, okay, on my bed, and said, if I want to become chairman, what exactly do I intend to do? So I marshaled out exactly what I want to do, and I went for it, okay? And in going for it, I know that the area council, of course, have overlapping responsibilities here and there with FCTA and other agencies. Like you've just mentioned, sanitation, cleaning of waste and what have you around us, isn't it? Now, you discover that the area council has a responsibility in one or two areas. The FCTA has an agency that is also responsible to remove this waste. We synergize with them. They are a bigger capacity council authority. They are a bigger brother. But where we are supposed to complement their effort, we do. So certainly AMAC is a large council with lots and lots of communities that need this attention. And because this over 90% of the communities all are within the suburb, okay, the city itself is where the FCT administration, through its agents of AEPB, collect and clean this waste. You discover that this percentage that are in the rural areas are supposed to be done by this area council. So we are doing the best we can. Of course, we are doing the best we can, right? The communities are many. If we have to concentrate only on cleaning of, our communities only, then certainly it will eat into other responsibility of attending to other services. But of course, as far as health is concerned, to remove waste in our communities is a must, and we are doing the best we can to complement the effort of FCT administration.
Candido never shies away from criticism. Rather, he takes all in his strides.
Criticisms, right, from the populace has endeared me to, taking up challenge once I'm faced with, right? I can consider that as one of those things that because we're dealing with the elite city, okay, Abuja Municipal Area Council, unlike other area councils, discover that 70% of the people are elite. Both the indigenous populations and the other Nigeria that, have found a new home in Amak, they are all elites, and so criticisms are very high here, okay? But of course, you discover that whatever you give to the people, it's never going to be satisfied. It's never going to be satisfactorily, achieved. But the little we have been able to do, I think I can score myself to have, done a little bit that the people have appreciated.
Let's go on a short break and we'll be right back. The program is still Inspirators on NTA. So stay tuned.
Abdullahi Adamu Candido will be transferring his mantle of leadership in May. For him, it is a song of victory with high rising notes of achievement. There are many sides to the man, Abdullahi Adamu Candido. While he tends the needs of his people, he also tends to nature through farming.
Honorable, before we went on the break, I was asking you a question, particularly for expectation.
Well, leadership has certain potentials. It all depends on one's thought about leadership first. Like I told you, I prepare myself. I put in place a blueprint. How I wish the candidate will also have a blueprint for himself and what he intends to achieve in less than maybe 3 years in his first term. And then if he has another opportunity of another 3 years, another blueprint for that. So essentially, my blueprint, like I told you, assisted me greatly. And that was why I think while outside, okay, even before I won election, I said, when I win election, I intend to put in place AMAC Microfinance Bank. Okay. That was even before I won election. And today, AMAC Microfinance Bank is there. I said I will put in place AMAC Investment and Property Development Company. In the history of that area council, it has never been. And today, I have it in place. Okay? I said I will, by the grace of God, establish AMAC community radio, or you call it AMAC grassroots radio. AMAC today, you'll be able to, even if you are blind, you'll be able to walk, and then if you think you are not seeing, you'll be able to hit your forehead and say, oh, why am I? So you are hitting your forehead on the block that has to do with AMAC Microfinance Bank. Okay? Yeah. If you go to Karshi, where I have also located my radio station that is serving the common people, okay? In the history of all the 774 local governments in Nigeria, there is no local government that has a radio station. I should be happy that I conceptualized that theory and it's in place. So if you think you don't know it or you are not hearing it, go to Karshi and then close your eyes. When you hit a block of a building, say, why is this is our community radio established by Honorable Abdullahi Candido. So these are things that then when you see our boys that we've been able to help to remove them out of joblessness, okay? The private guy you are seeing in town, most of them are graduates. So instead of loitering around with doing nothing, you are able to find them a job to do. I have done that through AMAC marshals and security guards. Over 500 young boys now have a job to do. Some have even married, some have gone to school as a result of the little stipend they are collecting. So for me, I think I'm satisfied because I have pulled out and reduced unemployment from the major streets of our nation.
Indeed. And on a lighter note, let's talk about after leaving office now. What's in it for you? Because I'm walking through a large expanse of land. I know you are taking me somewhere to see another side of you. Tell me about your, this activity. Well, this is your.
What you are seeing here is just a nursery of coconut plantation.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, just nursery part of it. I believe in the next 6 months to come, when you come here, they will have taken shape. Okay, but my major farm, where I do my farming activities, is outside the Federal Capital Territory. And it's located somewhere in between the Zuma Road and the Kaduna Road Express. Indeed. And so by the grace of God, these are my thought about complete life. Just to have something to do instead of loitering around the city, okay, doing nothing, pretending to just be a politician. Politics is not a profession. It's just an ad hoc responsibility. Once you are done with it, find something to do. And so farming is my major occupation, and I intend to encourage it even within myself and my family.
I'm very pleased with what you just said now. Being in politics is not a profession.
Yeah.
And I think that should be the core value, instilled in most of our politicians. It is not a do or die affair.
It shouldn't be.
And to sum it up, what will be your advice? What will be, your recommendation for young people or people in office or public office holders?
Well, I think, like I said, the life itself is transient. Like I keep telling people, if you have an opportunity to serve, please serve well. Because you have history to say one or two things about you. I have just come to serve the good people of this area council, and in the next couple of months I'll be out of this place. How will I be remembered? Am I going to be remembered from the negative part or positive part? So it is all in your own hands. The destiny of yourself is in your hands. So if you want to be remembered positively, do the positive things. If you want history to portray you as a negative person, when you do the negative thing, history will record you from that angle. So for me, I want to challenge all of us who have opportunity like this to always do the right thing, because you are not the best. Out of so many that God just desire that you should serve in a capacity. And so if you have this opportunity, appreciate God by serving the people more. And that is exactly what I've done. And I keep telling people that at the end of my tenure, I intend not to contest election. I can always be in the service of this nation through any means, not necessarily going around to say I'm protesting constantly. There are so many offices, there are so many jobs that you can be called upon to serve your people. Okay? If today my people say they want me to be PA to my ward councillor, I'm there for them. If my community say they want me to now be secretary to maybe it's anyone who works around the community, it's okay for me. What is most important is that you are still serving the people. But for now, having exiting, I think I'll find something to do for myself, and that is family.
Thank you very much, Honorable Abdullahi Adamu Candido.
It's my pleasure.
It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank
I've
you.
learned one or two things, and I believe you out there has also learned that service is vital. And let history speak for you. The program has been Inspirators on NTA. I'll see you next week. Until then, God bless you and do have a great day.